What's up, everybody? We just had our war against Sesi and Taco from Pencil Hulk Sex Panther, and look at the results. Oh, damn. All right, so we're going to go over some of the fights that we had here, and some of them are pretty interesting, and I started it off by taking out Sesi and Taco. Like, I got on very late in the war with the new structure. I'm kind of able to prioritize my kids first, and then when they're in nap time, then I can come and play, and it lines up better for me, which I thought was cool. I got on. It was Taco and Sesi left in, I think this is engineering, and they had some interesting teams, and then there was a lot of interesting teams. So we're going to go over all the fights here. This is all watching on replays. You're not going to see the buttons I hit, but I'll just talk about briefly the strategy of the teams that I bring in versus the teams we're facing, and what kind of other stuff you can look for into those matches and stuff like that. And let's start. Okay, so Sesi, he had a Eternals Loki Absorbing Man team with Shang-Chi. They took Shang-Chi off Heroes for Hire. I think that's a very bad move because Heroes for Hire can still catch some awkward wins. But I went in there with Loki and Cable to make sure I got the turn meter advantage. I rewind with my Cersei. That lets my Icarus go next. Loki was knocked low. We get the double tap, and that's it. So, cool team, Taco and Sesi. Bunch of losers. I'm just kidding. Other people from Sex Panthers, don't take this personally. I'm just talking trash to my friends. Okay, let's continue on. So the next fight was the exact same thing. So this was Taco's team. Exact same team. I said, nah, I went in there with Infinity Watch. Now this, I guess, could actually be kind of sketchy, right? So what's kind of cool about this matchup is because they make Cersei go first, you can dodge her attack. And in dodging her attack, you avoid one of the turn meter rewinds. And then Loki goes, and then Icarus is going to go. And I got pretty lucky here that my Nebula and my Gamora didn't die from that. So we get to keep our double lives, and then we're going to do a nice little rebalance and go from there. This is an interesting team that they put up there, though, with the two Eternals doing a turn meter rewind, the Shang-Chi do turn meter rewind, and a bunch of damage along the way. The reason they have Absorb Man there is just to stop like Weapon X from coming in here and doing an ability block with trauma on the Icarus and then killing the team super quickly. So that's why it was Ravagers. It's a pretty interesting team. I was very happy that I killed both of them, though, because I think this was like not a secret weapon of theirs, but just kind of the new tech on the town. And yeah, so Infinity Watch, we survived the open burst and we get through it. I think on this matchup, I came close to letting them get back to their ultimates, or maybe Cersei actually does get back to her ultimate, which is not great. Oh, and I should bring Twitch chat up so you can see they're talking smack to Sesi and Taco too. Bring that chat up. There we go. All right, guys. Sorry, you start talking smack again. You'll be up on the screen now. So yeah, I did a pretty good job here, I think, ping-ponging between the characters so that I can get speed up off of them and then focusing down the Icarus to stop the actual rewinds from continuing on. Yeah, so see, I went with Adam Warlock. I switched my targets to the Cersei to try and get that speed up off. Didn't get it the first time. I got it the second time, but then she was taking her turn. So it's kind of just dumb. I stay on her to try and get that speed up off of her, and now it's gone. I know Icarus already did his rebalance, so now I'm going to start focusing him because he'll actually die. Phyla hangs on just by the skin of her teeth. And now she's going to be like super healed up here in a second. No, never mind. We're just going to kill him. So we're kind of saying Shang-Chi doesn't seem like much of a threat without Heroes for Hire team around him. I agree. He's just there to kind of help facilitate the Eternals. So this is not like a Shang-Chi team. This is an Eternal team with just an extra rewind. I think Cable would have been better than Shang-Chi there. Okay, so the next fight. Oh, I do not like, okay, big Invaders, and this was a partially beaten team, so they already had exhaust. Somebody else came in and lost this fight. I came in for the cleanup. I went with my Z Factor and Quicksilver. Of course, though, for whatever reason, Captain or Nick Fury had his summons up, so we get stuck behind the summons, and it's rough after that because you can't use the Zemo ultimate. You got to settle for the special, and then I can't do any of my big AoE attacks because I will just get countered to death. Polaris ultimate can't be counterattacked, which is why I was able to do that. But this Invader team is very scary. When it gets big, it's really good in war, and I can almost guarantee we're going to see an Invader team in one of the next Crucible rooms because they just did it for Rebirth. They want you to build this team up. And because it works in raids at such a low level, they need to give us more of an incentive to bring it up. So I do foresee an invader room coming in Crucible soon. Anyway, this one came really close to being a loss, actually a lost Shatterstar. If I didn't have Quicksilver, I would have lost this fight. 100% I would have lost this fight if I went in with like X23. All right, now we got one more fight that we took for Taco and Sesi, I believe. I believe it was a Rebirth team. Yeah, there it is. And I just went in with Unlimited. I have so much on offense right now that I actually had trouble using all my teams, even though I did all 14 attacks. My Rebirth ended up not being used. So I'm going to have to look at my roster and maybe put something else back up. I did do some pretty creative stuff, though, as you're going to see a little bit later on. And I'm going to keep trying to catch this damn mosquito. Got him. Can you see that? See that? Yeah, got him. Get out of here, you bug. Scopely, that's how you swat a bug. There's nothing to talk about here. All right, just Unlimited trashes Rebirth. My Unlimited is huge because of the big boy Apocalypse. And wasn't a shot I was going to lose this one. All right, here's the next fight. It's A-Force Doom versus Young Avengers Doom. My arch nemesis, those damn Young Avengers. I go for the energy, and my Doom did not get the energy. And I was freaking the F out. I was like, oh my god, what do I do? Doom did not get the energy. So, using my super 5-head brain, I said, well, we got the ability block on Doom. Let's knock him to yellow so that he gets his turn, and then the ability block takes over. And that didn't work. My Captain Marvel is so weak because she lost all her military bonus with the stupid nowhere nonsense. So, A-Force in real trouble right now. I really need to build them up because Young Avengers are getting bigger. They're still usable in Crucible. There's still a reason to bring them up. But, I mean, it's better to be lucky than be good, okay? So what's going to happen is I'm going to avoid hitting the Doom because now I can't push him. He will get the energy, or he doesn't need the energy. This is his second turn. He would ult, I'd lose. But Squirrel Girl pushes my Doom. I get the ult. I wipe the sweat from my brow. Woo! I didn't have to scream. My son was sleeping a little bit like in the room, so I didn't have to scream, wake him up. This was great. So I did not stack up another loss to Young Avengers on my belt. A-Force needs to be built up, though. If you're going to be using them in war, they need to scale. Gotta level them up. All right, the next fight we did was Weapon X against the Hero Asgardians on about a 200k punch-up. And so everything was a punch-up. It's kind of weirdly formatted because I didn't do it live. I can't see the outline, so hopefully I have the powers included, depending on how this was edited in. But this is a very simple fight. It looks a lot faster than what it actually happened, so I took my time doing this. Essentially what you want to do, you want to put an ability block on Thor, and then you just want to use basics. So you use basics until Omega Red has his ultimate, and then you can flip everything and start killing people. If you just go hog wild right away, and you get a bunch of people killed, and you give them a Valkyrie passive before your Omega Red does his flip and trauma and all that, Lord help you, because a big Hero Asgardians is going to pop the F off on you. Gotta be real careful. All right, now this was another one I was worried about. This is a 700k punch-up. So my Underworld into a huge Darkhold, and I was very, very concerned I wasn't going to get the Morgan killed in time. So we play this one out the same way we've always played it out, right? Like you put the ability block on Heartless. Now he's ability blocked. He puts the ability block on Wong. So Heartless is going to do a basic, eat a bunch of counters. Wong is not going to taunt. But then all of our attention goes on to Morgan. So we start attacking the Morgan. We summon with Kingpin. So we use his special. Then we use Nobu counterattacks. And this makes her kill herself. And it worked. It worked. So even though I have a smaller Underworld team, then this was a giant Darkhold team, it still worked. Heartless does his basic, and so he eats a bunch of counters, throws him into stealth. That's great, so Green Goblin can come finish him off. Agatha does the exact same thing. You see she's already in stealth. She's already accepted that she's got knocked below that trigger. And then I think Scarlet Witch is going to come in and do the exact same thing, but we're lacking the amount of counters we need to push her, which is good. This is good, because we don't want to push the Wong. I want to push the Wong at the very last, okay? Because so Heartless is dead. We can kind of just do whatever we want to do at this point. But if Heartless was still alive, you don't want to get stuck behind that Wong. So target everybody else. Make sure they're all in stealth before you go after the Wong. Then if you knock him into stealth, it's okay. Because Agatha, as you see, she's going to pop out of stealth here. Get her done. And then we can go from there. So yeah, at this point, it's just cleaning up. I mean, it's a giant team. So the cleanup isn't as clean as you'd like it. But also, Green Goblin Ultimate not hitting stealth targets sucks. Scopely, fix that. Fix that. He's just breathing fire everywhere. He can breathe fire and hit invisible people. Come on now. All right, now this next attack is a purposeful loss. Now this is a burn team you can use on just straight Gamma. If there's other variants here like Archangel or Apocalypse, be careful of using this team. But it's Pheonix Bishop, Minerva, Mysterio. He needs to have that T4, and then Colossus. And the reason for that is it just lines up perfectly, even if all your characters are getting one shot. If your Bishop gets one shot, he doesn't do the counter attack to give charges. It doesn't matter because your Minerva is going to get the speed bar from him dying and presumably from Pheonix dying as well. Don't bring Colossus in if your Pheonix is so big she's surviving. Minerva ults, and then Red Hulk gets his charges, and it plays out the exact same way. There's enough bodies that all of them take a turn, and Red Hulk takes 2 turns, is the end of the story. But you need Mysterio passive. And fortunately, with the changes to War, that makes the follow-up attack super easy. Barely an inconvenience even. Let me find that attack. There we go. So here is that attack, and this is a 420k punch-up. So because I used Eternals on an enemy Eternals team, we had to kind of switch it up. But again, there's no Apocalypse here, so I can use Tangled Web. Either Tangled Web, Dorm, Undying together. And this is such an easy cleanup at this point with that exhaustion, giving them, I think, minus 20% stats. It's great. We're more likely to land the stuns, which we landed. We're more likely to land the defense downs and slows, which we landed, and we're able to go from there. Oh my god, so many mosquitoes. I'm so sorry for clapping the mic. Hopefully Sable edited that out. He was right on the mic. I got him, though. And yeah, definitely watch out for Nova variants with Gamma right now. I hear that one could be pretty nuts. But this is self-explanatory. So we get debuffs. We keep stunning the She-Hulk so she's never throwing it back at us. And they just kill themselves. We're not really worried about anything. If we can focus on the Red Hulk, it'll make it easier for us. And the targeted priority here is very simple. Red Hulk first, She-Hulk second, OG Hulk third. The rest will fall apart. And with them having exhaustion, A-Bomb is nothing. With Braun having used all of his abilities in the sack, and he opens up a special which doesn't do much on the second hit anyway, it's just very easy to get through it. So as far as like the new rules, I should make a video talking about the new War stuff because it's like awful and great at the same time. It's very weird. But with the new rules, it makes Gamma, if you're going to settle for the 2-tap, kind of trivial, which I like because I hate fighting Gamma. This was a fight I thought was super fun. This is something I just threw together because I already did Darkhold and I already did Gamma. So I know I don't need Kang anywhere. I have Emma on offense. For why? I have no idea. But it worked out great. So I did Masters of Evil with no Absorbing Man and with Emma against the Unlimited with Emma on like a 200k punch-up. And this was really cool. I had no idea how I was going to play. I knew Kang would get rid of those dodges, puts those in there, and then I didn't know if Titania or Dazzler would go first. And that was kind of like the win condition. Titania goes first, gets that ability block, and from there, it's just crazy. We stun the Gambit with Moonstone Special. You got to remember, it's not Crucible, so you can't use that ultimate. Won't do Turn Me to Rewind, won't do a stun. And it won't do Trauma, so Gambit gets out of that stun anyway, but we did avoid some of his pings. And then from here, like Masters of Evil just kind of shows that they might be the last kind of universal-ish team that we've gotten. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear that. They want to say they're a Crucible-only team, but it's not really true. The stun from Moonstone, the ability block from Titania, the huge damage, the Ultron bots, all that, and then Kang, it's a real team in all the modes. I really like Masters of Evil. It's a really fun team to play. I'm glad I got to use them there on Pretty Big Punch-Up. All right, now this fight was kind of scary. This is only a 300k punch-up. My War Dogs into a Black Order. It was very scary. So what happens here is Nakia gets hit by the Thanos, and I was really afraid that Blee was going to kill her. It got her real close, but another thing that happened that normally doesn't is Corvus started in stealth. So I couldn't ping the Corvus. I had to settle for going for Proxima. I always go for Corvus first. So when I had to go for Proxima, I wasn't too happy. But taking her out really quickly still let my Nakia start pinging down the Corvus, which you're going to see. And this matchup relies heavily on having a big Nakia, like a real big Nakia. She's the heart and soul of the team. If you take this fight in security and your Nakia dies because she gets hit by the Thanos, you're done. You're just done. So maybe hiding her in a corner with a Okoye adjacent to her is the way to go. I like her being in the back so I can give energy to Black Panther and Okoye so they can both alt turn one, do some turn meter rewinds, undodgeable things. I really like that setup, but if Nakia is going to be dying, it just doesn't work. And also, you definitely want Nakia as a raider, because if Okoye gets just destroyed, it's a real problem, which might happen here, actually. I forget. Oof. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Cole said, see you later, Okoye. So yeah, Nakia as a raider is actually going to carry this with the vulnerables now, which I was really appreciative of. So Silver Clan said, I like Masters of Evil, but they're almost worthless without Kang. I would push back and say on offense maybe, but on defense, they're actually great. I don't know why I paused it. Oh, that was me on my finger. Okay. I was like, this isn't pre-recorded. On defense, they're not bad. It does take at least a very big team to take them out if you have them built, just because they have those new stats. But yeah, Kang, if you want to use them against like meta teams, you need Kang. He's the heart and soul for sure. All right, so that was like a 300k punch up. I saw like a 2.1 million where it would have been like a 2.7 million, sorry, where it would have been a 1 million punch up. And I thought real hard about taking it. And then I thought real hard about how silly I would look losing that fight. All right, and here's another fight. So I got to use Nova. I was supposed to put him on defense, but I forgot. So this is a punch across. This is Kevdog. Kevdog, this is his Eternal Shang-Chi team, but he accidentally left a shield security in there and forgot to put Absorbing Man. So I brought Nova, knowing that Nova gets 15% speed and Loki only gives Cersei 10. So my Nova goes before Cersei, I stun her, and then I use Darkhunters of all teams, okay? So Shang-Chi has blinded by the Darkhunters, fantastic. I take out Elsa, put Mordo in so that Mordo can stun the Icarus, and I go from there. I was so proud of this, and also, like, of course, it's just Nova carrying, but I thought it was really cool how the Darkhunters actually did something here. Like, without the Darkhunters, I probably still would have lost, even having Nova. But this is great. I didn't go for the greed play. I should have targeted Icarus so that Nova would basic him or ISO attack him. But yeah, I was really proud of that one. And no one called me out on having Nova on offense, so it was great. Yet, I'm sure I'll get a DM after they see this video. All right, so here's about a 100k punch up. Ravagers Hawkeye into Bionic Avengers. I love using Ravagers, okay? If you can find a way to use Ravagers, this is great. So you want to ability block Viv and Deathlock for sure, but it has to be Deathlock. So we strip that defense up off Deathlock. You need a big T'Challa next. T'Challa goes in, one shots to Deathlock. And from there, you just don't want to push anybody below 50% and activate the Hulkbuster taunt before you can do 2 rewinds with your boomers on the Viv and whoever she's adjacent to. If it's Iron Man, great. If it's Vision, you're probably going to miss a bunch. It's not as fun, but you're still going to be fine. Next, your big Stitcher that you brought into Dark Dimension 5 because you're a savage and you just wanted that tech gear to be a little scarcer. You go ahead and you pop. You pop that Vision. She's gone. And then T'Challa takes out Iron Man, and then from there, you're just playing cleanup. Yeah, I love using Ravagers. I will not be building them up to keep up with the meta. I do think people are going to be building up their Bionic Avengers to try and hopefully do better in the tech raids, even though it's not going to help, but you should still try, I suppose. But yeah, my Ravagers are going to quickly become useless. All right, so now we're going to do a full Invader team, and we're taking in our Death Seed. So I was actually holding Death Seed in hopes that I was going to take on one of those Tangled Web dorm teams, but they only had them in the Premier Global rooms. So Sex Panthers was running Tangled Web dorm Kestrel Chavez, but only in certain rooms, so I actually didn't get to take one out. This was like a 500k punch down, and for some reason, it still didn't feel as nice as you would want it to. Invaders is a real team. It's a real team. When people build them up for presumably a Crucible room, because you don't have to build them up super high for raids, people are going to find out that these stats are no joke. And all the buffs that Fury gives out is kind of crazy. I really do expect we're going to be seeing some big Invaders team soon. Yeah, Invaders are tanky as heck. And they get so many buffs. death proofs and all that. Fury with just summons on summons on summons. I don't even know how he got to summon back to back. Where does he get that energy from? I see energy flying, but I'm not sure where it's from. I thought, does Captain America give it? See, I just see energy all over the place. Is it on blocks? Is it, I don't know. Invader Death gives energy. Well, there you go. That's why. Thank you, Papa Squat. I'm glad that answer came while the video was going. All right, so that's going to conclude this war video, guys. As you can see, we are going to beat Sex Panthers. They will get an additional 15,000 points from clearing reactor, plus 1,000 points when they beat each room, plus 20 points if they one-shot both these, or 8 if they two-shot it, whatever the case may be, which means we will win. Super close, I guess. We had 81 defense victories. They had 40. I haven't been keeping, like, good attention. I haven't been taking good attention. Whatever words I'm trying to say. I haven't been keeping an eye on the scoring. It seems very wonky. It seems very wonky that we would have twice as many defense victories, but still be in the same kind of like 1,000 point range. I guess that's just how they did it to make people feel better. It's weird. It's really weird. I don't know. Let me know how you guys are feeling about these war changes in the comment section below. I'm going to work on a video kind of talking about the good and the bad. I think there's more good than bad, but the bad is real bad for competitiveness. And I hope they can make some tweaks. Now, this is not the permanence of war, is my understanding. It's like an experiment they're trying. So I think they're up for some changes, and hopefully they can implement those and make it even better, because I like that more people can actually get involved in war now. And that's it. Bye.
That's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Stay happy, healthy, have fun, and I'll see you in the next one.